I think we're live. So great of you to be here. Let me just check if I am live in a quick second. Let me see. It says 5 seconds to go. Three, two, one. I'm looking at the Facebook app in the hope that it will come. Oh, it's almost there. Let me see. It's popping up. I don't. Yes, it is here. Great. Yeah, well, it took a while before I saw that I am live. So welcome everyone. Welcome to the pre-show. Welcome to Petra's Music Condo. Something that I will get. I will probably get into trouble to say that a few times, but we'll see. I see my mom is in. Welcome, my mom. Her name is Annie. Floyd is in. Welcome, Floyd. Welcome, Renee, as well. Very nice of you guys to drop in. I know it's probably good weather at your end of the world. Um, it certainly is a little bit of a mixture feeling over here in the Netherlands, especially where I am situated. We had some showers today, but also some nice intermittent summer weather. So it's gonna be yeah, that's what happened. So today we are going to do a show about radio and that kind of thing. But before I start with that, tell me what you've done so far and what are you going to do this weekend. So maybe you would put that in the comments so that we can have that in the pre-show, that discussion. That would be great. Um, in the meantime, I can tell you something about my day. So today was a day where I was actually pre-recording a radio show that we call it backup radio show. Is that when you get sick or something else is going on, you're not able to do something at the very end, and because of that, we need to have a fallback scenario, and that is an hour long radio show that is pre-recorded. We never know when it's coming out, but it's probably gonna go out like 1 year or 2 years in the future. So that's interesting always. And actually, I did also three additional programs, which are in fact for specific days. And it really feels like I'm live, but I'm not because I'm somewhere else. So that's kind of funny always. I mean, radio can essentially be a very good liar. I mean, I recall 5 years ago when I was in the States for half a year, I recorded every single day the show. Sorry, not that every day, every week. And I pre-recorded it from the hotel, later from my apartment in Portland, and then I transferred it to the station. And at the hotel, it took like ages, about 8 hours to get it over to the Netherlands. Luckily, with the apartment there in Portland, it was much quicker. It's like I don't know, half an hour or an hour or something like that. So that was funny. Let me see. There are some comments. Set up my streaming setup. Whoa, Renee, that's cool. Make sure to say a little bit more. I've already saw you in the new private Facebook group. That was awesome. It's a good picture. I loved it. Loved it very much. I'm going to Bob Ross painting birthday party. Bob Ross, is that guy with the animals and that's that I if it's a painter that I think it is, I really liked the way he did it. Somehow it was always relaxing. These little birds are living here, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and what was it again? Shake the devil or something? What he said with the that was funny. Hey, Kevin is also in. Welcome, Kevin. Great of you to join, especially the last episode. And I see that we have only 15 seconds to go before we will start the show. And I'm looking forward to it, but also not really. So let's go and have some fun. All right, welcome to the show. Welcome to Petra's Music Condo. Today is going to be like an awkward day, and because it is the last show of Petra's Music Condo. Now, before you go and say, "Oh, she's not doing anything anymore," well, I am because I am already starting with TechCondo, which will replace place the Petra's Music Condo. Same time, same place. The only thing is that the coming month, I will be going on some travels, and I also want to, take some time off. So the coming month, there's no show on the Saturday. The first show will be around the 15th of September again. But don't worry, I will inform you quite a lot. But I'll next to the show, which is from the studio, I will also have what we call live streams with the F, which means that it's just mobile and just hanging around and just saying something. The only thing is that I'm not sure if I can make it every time at this specific time, but I'll try to do something in that area. Um, just because I really like to talk to you guys, and but hopefully, so don't worry about it. I will be there, definitely. There's a loads of people joining, which is awesome. My mom is in, Floyd is in, Renee is in, Renee Christman. Kevin Hatch is in, and Jordan is also in. Welcome, everyone. Also, before I forget, of course, my Patreons, I don't want to forget them. Actually, I already changed something here, as you can see, because the patreon.com has been changed the URL to TechCondo. We will talk about TechCondo later in the show, but before we do, I would say I want, like to start the show. And welcome everyone to Petra's Music Condo. So today we are going to talk about one of my favorite passions, and that is radio. Um, Radio has been around for quite some time already. However, last time that we spoke, we had a discussion on if radio is still hot or not, and if it's still something that we want to talk about and to listen to. And like I said back then, is that I still believe that that is the case. Is that it is really important that radio remains, because radio has one major advantage, is that first of all it's live. Second of all, is that it's a way to communicate if you're not able to see, and that can be in traffic, because of course if you're in a car, you're not able to watch a screen. If you're on a bike, same thing. A motor, same thing. Airplane, blah blah blah. But you can actually listen to music and listen to interviews that are on that radio station. Um, but also bear in mind, for instance, people that have disabilities, like they are blind, they can actually listen to music, and be part of the community, and be part of whatever happens in your area. So radio is very important to me, but I'm a little bit biased. Well, I'm actually very biased, because I have been working for the local radio station for 23, 24 years already. And I've been doing all kinds of different roles, but I really love it. And but we'll talk about it later. The Netherlands are really known about that we have a lot of local radio stations. Um, that is something that I will be talking about. Um, and everywhere I go, I actually, the first thing that I do, especially if I am in the UK or the US or Canada, is that one of the first things that I do is that I go into my new rental car and just change it to an alternative radio station because I love alternative music. That is me, and might not be you, but at least it's something that I like. So, um, what I did today is that earlier today I went to the local radio station where I needed to be because I wanted to record a show, a backup show, which is important because if something goes wrong with me, I can be sick. I'm on travels, and the show must go on. So I created a backup show, and I actually have recorded the last 2 3 weeks additional shows for when I'm when I'm traveling. So only next week, the 12th of August, will be the only show that is live this particular month for me. But what I also did, and I hope that you guys find that kind of cool, is that I actually went over to the station in the to talk about well, to give you an idea on the round trip, well, round trip or whatever you want to call it, but what do we do? What can you see? How does it look like? And I created this video and pre-show funny. This video was actually shot in 4K, and I didn't know it was 4K because it's done with my phone. So it took like ages to render, but it is still something that I hope that you like. As promised, I would talk to you about the radio station, and I'm here at the radio station. And first of all, we are going to this room, which is essentially the room where we have our meetings. So here we have a large table where we, have our meetings about programs and all kinds of other stuff, which is also important. And here is also a TV show kind of a setup. It's not always in, but occasionally we have bands, and then we have the recording over here. And let's go a little bit further, because there's actually nothing to see beside that. Let's go to the place where we look at the news. So that's right here. And these are some computers that we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 workstations. And all of those workstations are running Linux. And we typically we have Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got the TV, we've got text TV over there. I'll show you in a few seconds. And of course the radio, which is 24/7. And we have all kinds of automation on that, but let's go and look at that. By the way, Erik is doing a great job to holding the camera. So this is Text TV, just to let you know. So this is where we put on, you're not going to be able to read it because it's in Dutch, but this is typically the way that we communicate with the Venray community. And let's go a little bit further, and let's go to the Radio Studio 1, which is our biggest studio. It's a little bit dark. Let me try to put in a little bit more lights than normal, because otherwise it's a little bit dark, I think. But this is where I typically am on Saturday. But the only thing is that I'm a standing person, so I typically change this to this way of working. And here we have our automation software, and the fun part is, and maybe I can do a very quick demo, is that I've done two songs here. So Pearl Jam, Alive, and this is a jingle, and then another song. And I want to be able to play those, the jingle and the song in one go. So I can actually fade it like this, save it, and then I can couple it, and then it will play roughly without any problems. And so this makes it our life as a DJ, which I mean, we need to talk about news items or items in general, then it's much easier just to play some songs. Moving further, we have a room over here. I'm followed. We have a room where we have a lot of guests. So typically the sports program is here with like 3 or 4 people. We also have other specific interview programs that we do over here. I never use it, by the way. I'm sure that Erik, who's behind the camera, also never uses it. Well, for bands, right? For bands. So let's go further. Now, Studio 2 is a little bit of a different story, to be honest, because normally Studio 2 is a different story because we have a problem. And the problem is that we currently don't have a mixing board in Studio 2. Oops. No, the reason for that is that we are now broadcasting live on location for, I believe, 4 days in a row, 24/7, but 24/4 then. A special holiday special, and that means that our DJs that are at the station can finally have a week off or a long weekend and enjoy the fun fair, which is also in Venray at this moment. So this is Studio 2. This is what we call a self-support studio. The other studio can actually be also a studio where you have a technician that does the faders and a presenter that is separate. And now the final thing is the TV. The TV room. I love how Erik does this. I have to laugh, sorry. And actually the TV room is a little bit awkward because if you have seen my Lida of today, then you've seen that we are doing some fun stuff here. Because we have this nice setup as a press conference. So I'm going to use this press conference to tell you that this is the last episode of Petra's Music Condo. It's been a tremendous, great year. I've been doing this for almost 11 months, and the time has come to end it. So I will come back now to the studio and then really end the show. But we will have TechCondo starting in September. But before we do that, let's go through this room just one more time. This is our mixing computer where we do our edits on Final Cut Pro, and we have of course big studio speakers because we really find that audio is important. Audio is the most important thing if it comes to video, and being a radio person, we know that. And that's about it. We have 2 cameras, which I'm sorry I cannot show you because they're both now in the field. But there are Sony cameras, which we really appreciate and like very much. And of course, that's it for today. And I'm going back to the studio. Petra, go ahead. Yep. So I'm here. I hope that you like that. I found it very interesting and very fun to do. Erik, thank you so much for doing that part with the camera. It was really funny. He actually walked backwards and he was almost going to every wall and doing all kinds of different things just to not be in the way. It was really cool to see that. Yes, indeed. Floyd says, "Yay for Sony." Yeah, we have 2 Sony cameras. One is a little bit bigger. It is a 2-year-old system, and the other one is rather new. And we are really fond of those. They're really sturdy, and we really like them. Renee says it was very funny and cool. My mom says, yes, I've been watching Bob Ross. Oh, that's another thing that was for the pre-show. We were talking about Bob Ross. Floyd says he was going to a birthday party. Yeah, we love him. I now know who that is again, and we really liked him. Jordan says something very interesting as well. He says, plus online radio is also awesome. I totally forgot about that. Online radio is definitely something that is also important, of course, these days. Well, talking about radio, I actually also looked at Paul Dixon, who is also part of this community. He had on his Facebook page. He went to a website called Radio Garden, and I actually have a shot of that. So this is a Radio Garden, and what it essentially is that it's an application. It's like Google Earth, where you can go to a certain area which you like, and then you just point the arrow on something, and then you can hear the radio station that is at that area. So, for instance, if you want to go to, let's say, New York, then I can zoom in and go to the Big Apple, and then boom, you've got some New York. Wait, let me remove the patrons for just a brief moment. You got a list of stations that are there. If you go to Rochester, where I lived as a kid, then this right about here. Then these are the ones that are right there. And of course, also in the Netherlands, we have also some radio stations. But this is something that you might not have figured out. But if you look at Europe, it's pretty interesting to see something here. Is that the Dutch and Belgians actually have one of the most uh, populated radio stations. So a lot of local radio stations are here, and even more than, for instance, in the UK or in Germany or in France. So it's like very, very much. And of course, the most important one is the one that I'm part of, which is I think that one. There you go, Radio Venray. That's what it says below in the graphics. That's us. Unfortunately, I'm not able to let you hear it because, of course, there are some copyright issues, but at least you've seen it. This is a really cool toy gadget to use. It's radio.garden. That is what you have to look up in your browser, and then yeah, you're gonna love it. I'm sure of that. Oh, do Colorado. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, well, sorry. Yep, I'll do Colorado for you, Floyd. No problem. No problem at all. Let's do that. Let's zoom out for a bit. And let's go to the US, to Colorado. Wait a sec. Give me a few seconds to find it. That's right about here, I think, somewhere. Let me... I know where it is, but just let me check. Is that? Unfortunately, I'm not able to. Is this Colorado? No, that is not Colorado. Colorado, Grand Junction. Okay, I'm almost there. Where do you want me to look, Floyd? Because so this is Grand Junction, Colorado, and maybe Denver is right here somewhere, I think, on top of my head. Springs. There, unfortunately, it doesn't show the exact locations. It doesn't give you the names, but I think that Denver is somewhere in this area, right? That's feeling what I have, but I'm not sure about that. I'm not able to find it, but at least it's in that area, more to the left. More to the left. Okay. This maybe. Yeah. Aspen, but Aspen is more to the west side, right? Some geography here today. Don't take it personally, Floyd. I feel very bad about it, but at least you can see that there's a lot to choose from, and you can actually listen to it once you have selected place, a city, you can actually select the radio stations of that city that are available in this app, which is really cool. Flo says Black Magic is amazing. I still have not gotten my hands on them. Oh, my dad says sorry. That's in reaction to my dad. Sony camera is great. I once did a splitting image scene with it. That's an internal joke. 100% success. Nowadays, I'm only a Blackmagic 4K production camera. And that camera is amazing, guys. I really like it. And by the way, something that if you are interested in using Wirecast, the 4K can actually be used as a input device. You don't have to go through SDR, HDMI. You can literally go via your USB 3 port, I think, or Fire. I'm not sure if it's Thunderbolt or USB 3, but I think Thunderbolt. It really works immediately. It's like a device. It's really great. Jordan says I don't have any good radio stations in my area, so I listen to online stations. Gotcha. Yeah, I can imagine that, Jordan. But hey, you can always start your own, eh? I mean, if you look at what we do here, streaming video, streaming audio, it is all possible, and this was not doable like maybe even 5 or 10 years ago. It was like so expensive that I would have not done it. And nowadays we can just do it together, and that's what I like really about this community, etc. Again, this community are those people that are here below, but those are my roommates. These roommates have provided me a certain amount of money, to support the show. If you would like to be support the show, then go to patreon.com/TechCondo. That is a new URL since today, and I would really appreciate any amount that will do nicely. But this is actually also the end of Petra's Music Condo. There's a time to go, so to speak. But before I go, let me check one time if there's still some remarks. My app crashed. Well, I just wanted to say goodbye, Music Condo. I learned a lot and have already started to enjoy the new show. Online radio was possible 5 years ago. Yes, online radio was possible 5 years ago, Jordan. That is definitely correct. I was really referring also to the video part, and that was also possible, but was much more expensive. That's what I'm saying. So the way in order to make it happen, that the prices has gone lower than previous. There's only one thing that I want to do before the end of the show, and that is to have a formal moment. And the formal moment is something that I want you to be part of, because you are you are my community, and I think it's important that you guys see what's happening. And for me, this is really the end of Petra's Music Condo and the start of TechCondo. So let's do that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to cut to my computer screen. I'll try to increase the size a bit. If it lets me. No, it doesn't. Then I'll just put in the zoom. Okay, it doesn't do that. That's no problem. So here is Petra's Music Condo. And I'm going to change that to TechCondo. And that is the formal moment. So that was that was it. I only have to wait. Maybe it's going to be Petra's TechCondo. I'm not sure about that one because there is still a old page called TechCondo and might interfere with it. But that is officially now. Wait a second. I'm going to just do that. Petra's TechCondo. I'll just do that now. Oh, there's a pending. It doesn't let me. That's fine. So that's it. So from now on, Petra's Music Condo is gone. It's now TechCondo, and I want to end the show with the opening of TechCondo so that you can see it, and hopefully you're also gonna like it. And then I'll just come back for just a brief moment.